Travel the 10 East, about 100 miles or so from Los Angeles, into the Coachella Valley, and just north of Palm Springs, you'll find Desert Hot Springs, a small community of give or take 26,000 people. It was a hotspot for snowbirds in the mid-1900s, a desert home to resorts and spas, but hard times drove the city into bankruptcy by 2001 and almost again in 2013. Now those hard times are being replaced by high times.
Welcome to Candescent.
Candescent became the city's first official, regulated, legal cultivator after the council decided that maybe medical marijuana could cure the city's financial ills.
We are very, very optimistic about the future here. But at this point, we're taking it day by day.
And day by day, cultivators like Adrian Sedlin are building their future.
Lights never go off.
Using lots of technology to take baby pot plants to maturity and then to market.
Every 10 days, we're taking down 70 pounds of finished product.
He says Candescent is poised to make some 2,400 pounds of marijuana a year, enough to roll up over 1 million joints.
End of 2019, we'll be doing 50 million in revenue. This is a flower room that's 25 days in. Cannabis is going to be a $300 billion global industry. I think Desert Hot Springs is making a very, very, very intelligent decision for the future of its constituents.
Desert Hot Springs, a Vegas for pot, a jackpot just for the growing, for a city that was cash-strapped.
I think there's some notion out there that we're just bringing in the millions, and while we're very optimistic that that's going to happen at some point in our future, I can say that since 2014 to date, 3 years, the city has seen less than $1 million in tax revenue from this industry. And I don't say that to be negative about the industry or negative about the future, but I say that to say that anything in its infancy is going to take some time to develop.
City officials say homes have doubled in value. Industrial real estate tripled, even quadrupled in some cases. The chief of police here has always been against marijuana, the growth of it, the sale of it. He says it's a gateway drug. But since becoming chief here, he's changed his tune. He's supporting it, although not completely.
I have huge reservations and professionally against it as a recreation drug.
In his 35 years, the chief of police was even an undercover narcotics officer for a time and a DARE officer. He never liked pot.
Obviously, I've had to change my way of thinking, basically that if it's going to be here, as I've said a number of times, I could sit in the corner and pout about it, that it's here and I'm against it, or I can take a more active role.
And Desert Hot Springs isn't alone. Southern California cities including Linwood, Coachella, Adelanto are all cashing in and greenlighting the growing and sale of recreational weed. Still others, including Anaheim, Pasadena, and Riverside, have had efforts to ban or push back against the growing trend. Back to the chief. He's worked with cultivators and the city to come up with strict security guidelines that include armed guards at each site and access to cameras that he and the city manager can look at any time to see what's going on inside these facilities.
So if it's going to be here, we want these facilities to be as safe and secure as possible, and our community to be as safe and secure as possible.
To be clear, he's opposed to recreational marijuana use, but the cultivated plants he's come to be okay with are the very ones that'll be used for the recreational use he opposes.
You must be somewhat schizophrenic about this.
I am, and I know people who believe I'm hypocritical.
But like everyone we spoke with, he's hoping this will be good for the city's financial future. But he is concerned the federal government could step in and step on everyone's hopes. And if that were to happen,
it could be potentially catastrophic because we have to provide sources of revenue for the city.
And that's what's growing in the desert here. Green plants that could mean greenbacks and lots of them. Right now, there are 5 cultivators working. 60 projects have been approved. Lots of construction of these facilities going on in an industrial area specifically zoned for marijuana production, where little plants will become big plants, where they'll be trimmed and bagged, where they'll be locked up in heavy-duty safes until it's time to deliver them to dispensaries.
This would be what a finished box looks like. It's in a child-proof lid.
And in all of that are the tax dollars and hopes of a community in the California desert. And Lauren, Christine, I think that is the bottom line, really, that there are people in Desert Hot Springs and other communities out there in the desert particularly that are really hoping that not only does the medical marijuana as a cash crop continue to grow, but also that as adult recreational use begins sometime after the first of the year, it also impacts on their communities. Back to you.